going straight to the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Paul Ananaba. And this time, I can't see you. Good thing. So let's start off and have this conversation, the hardship in the country leading up to that conversation that the NLC and organized labor is saying that they intend to have a protest. But the conversation from the security agents, specifically the police and the DSS, is countering that protest. So in the face of a democracy, what does this mean? How can, in a democratic space, have such protests when the security warning is also coming at that same time?
Well, good evening, Nigerians. I think that no Nigerian will say that he's not feeling the pinch of the economic and situation in the country. To put it simply, what you buy this evening will not likely have the same price tomorrow morning. Things go just the way they want to go. And it's got to the point where no matter what your salary is, you cannot be sure you can feed yourself and your family for a month. So that is the situation. Now, NLC and TUC and all that, well, they have indicated they want to go on strike. But the question is it a labor-related issue? How does it connect them? And we'll go beyond that. Nigerians have lost faith in the multiple calls for strike by NLC that never yield the required results. So I don't think that's even very important to the average Nigerian that is suffering on the streets. But if they can use strike as effectively this time to be able to get the government to sit down and discuss. Strikes are not meant to disrupt, but to draw attention for the best interests of Nigerians. Now, the Constitution guarantees right to protest and assembly, lawful assembly and protest. The Constitution guarantees that. Section 40 guarantees that. That's freedom of movement, association, and all that. Now, I do not see the basis for anyone, including security agencies, to begin to stop the exercise of fundamental rights of Nigerians by Nigerians. Now, the duty of the security agencies, to my mind, is to provide security, to ensure that the strikes or the demonstrations or the protests are not violent, that in the interest of the public order, morals and all that are guaranteed, and that if anybody becomes unruly, they arrest the person. That's what the law is. But you cannot stifle the free exercise of the rights, fundamental rights guaranteed in Section 40, Chapter 4 of the Constitution. You cannot do that. That's the Constitution. And that has been interpreted in several cases, including the Inspector General of Police and AMPP. The Court of Appeal was very clear. In fact, Justice Adekeye made the point, starting from the High Court, where Justice Chinyere had pronounced clearly that by virtue of the Constitution, you can't even ask for the colonial vestige, colonial requirement of the Public Order Act. It does no longer arise. And our security agency should know. Yes, guaranteeing that you protest doesn't guarantee that you should be violent or unruly. If you offend the law, they arrest you. That's the point. Now, we must be a democratic nation as we proclaim to be, and we should continue to be. In any event, Justice Muhammad in his contributory judgment said that you don't need the permission of anybody, even under the Public Order Act. The IG of police doesn't even have powers under that. If you look at the Public Order Act, it is even the governor that can permit and can give instruction to the Commissioner of Police. But all that has been thrown away by the IGP and AMPP. Even in other countries, democratic countries, that is the position. There's freedom to protest, but and assemble, but it must be, within democratic rules, and such that it can only be derogated for public interest, public order, and public morality. Now, having said that, even as in close by Ghana, the Supreme Court had also decided in the New Patriotic Party against the Inspector General of Police that, listen, you cannot stop protests. So valid protests are fine, but nobody should use protests as a political tool or for any wrongful use. It should just be used to draw the attention of the public and the government.
And Professor Ananaba, this is where I come in. Apologies.
And works well.
And this is where I come in to draw the attention and make government act. And it brings us to this big worry. How effective are such protests in a democracy?
Well, it is effective in democracies because what is even this democracy? It is not government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So if the people are crying and saying, oh, things are difficult for us, the government, since the government is for them, the government begins to listen to them. That's what it is all about. And that's why I said we shouldn't use strikes and protests for political or extraneous purposes. No. But protests are allowable in democracy. They are part and parcel of democracy.
In the face of what the government, I'm talking about the subnational and the federal government, we've seen some form of efforts. We just heard from the Lagos State governor, the intervention the state is bringing in to see how they can mitigate the sufferings of the citizens. What are those things that others can do? Because we have three arms of government, Professor Ananaba, and basically speaking, it looks as if one is almost inexistent. So how can they all come together to ensure that what we're dealing with is truly handled democratically?
That's what I was just saying, that what the Lagos State governor has done is very, very commendable. That's what we're talking about. Because the cry of the people, the opinion, the concern of the people is gone high. A responsible government, just as the Lagos State government has done, has come to address the people, has come to announce some measures to tell the people, we also care. This governor you're talking about, or these governors we're talking about, they have relations who also go to the same market. They have workers. They have friends. So that's what governance is all about. I commend the Lagos State government for taking that step. But that is not the end. That's the beginning. The government should continue. And all governors should key in, even the federal government. The federal government has been making pronouncements as to how to alleviate the suffering. If you beat a child, the child will cry. If the child is not crying, the mother will leave the child and face other things that are more important. So that's what the problem is. So let's all allow all the workings of democracy to blossom, so that the international community will read and say, yes, Nigeria is a democratic society. That's what it is. Let's not go back to colonial times when before you protest you must get a permit. And all that. That is no longer fashionable across the world. What is fashionable is, if you are protesting, you can notify the police. You can notify the security agencies. Let them be around.
Absolutely. I'm afraid we're out of time.
Nobody nobody
I'd like to thank you for your
gets
time,
into
Professor
to disrupt the
Paul
protest.
Ananaba, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Many thanks for sharing your thoughts and insights on this.